How's everyone?
All right. If you guys do ever have anything that you want me to talk about, make sure you jump into the Discord, and there's a news channel in there. You can just drop whatever articles you would like. Yes, there was a lot of Monster Hunter news. I wasn't feeling like talking about all of it, but maybe we'll do that at the very end. I did want to go over this one real quick. I do have a little blocked out part because I don't have a Twitter account, or at least not one set up, and I need to at some point, but it was just deciding that it was going to show my email over there. So I was like, I probably shouldn't show that to everybody. Yeah, let me point this out to you guys. But Monster Hunter is finally confirmed that they are no longer gender locking armors. So for any new players into Monster Hunter, whenever you would play, you would get an armor set based on the gender type that you chose as your character. Going forward, now you will be able to choose whatever armor type you want. I think there will still be like a male and female variant. I don't know how they'll name them. I'm assuming that'll be something different, but they are now going to allow you to choose whatever one, no matter whatever the gender you choose as your main character and everything. So cool. Yeah, I was super hyped about this. There is like I said, a ton of other things that they brought up. Maybe we'll go over those real quick. So armor is no longer gender locked, which is what we talked about. Quest end timers can be skipped in solo. And then they showed off how that works off in multiplayer as well. It's just like a skip button everybody has to press. Breaking parts and destroying wounds gives players monster materials immediately. Dead monsters have hitboxes, and players can climb up on the corpse to carve it. So now you can climb up on top of the corpse and everything instead of being inside them. Just a cool little thing. New small monster name revealed through the UI, which is Gyjos. Item bar can be extended for better management. So that's like this whole thing where like the bottom bar can be like extended out and everything. It's kind of crazy. Monsters are unpredictable. That the game director was surprised at how they were acting during the stream. There's two new NPC hunters shown, Alessas and Rosso. One of them had a purple secret. The Windward Plains inclemency was shown to last about 10 minutes. Game comes with hunting tips, tutorial pop-ups that can be disabled. Supply items get restocked. Conditions are unclear though. Mounting is back and seemingly works like it does in Monster Hunter Wilds, a little bit different. Skill activation messages are still there. New environmental hazards like the Great Thunderbugs swarm and zap monsters that touch it, and Raodao is immune to them. So these next two, I believe, are all based off of the live stream that happened yesterday. Oh, is it only the one that happened yesterday? Did they have the one from today? Oh yeah, so this one was yesterday, and then the next one is from today. So large dung pods can be used to disperse herds. So it seems like a lot of times, and for some of these monsters, there's going to be like herds of monsters, and there's going to be an alpha. And so essentially, when you're hunting, you're going to be hunting the alpha, and so you'll be having like these swarms of monsters, and you can disperse the herds by using these large dung pods. Luring pods can be used to lure monsters and manage aggro. Bleeding pods can be used to create wounds faster. Set bonus skills are back, but you can also use mixed sets that also have set bonuses if the used parts is common theme like Flying Wyvern. Weapons have built-in armor skills as well. Basic line of weapon is called Hope. Okay. Quests are created by choosing a monster on the map. I also saw that people were just going up and attacking monsters, and that was creating quests. I think that that's going to be part of the open world part of like doing quests. I still think that there's going to be like an area where you can take and get requests and everything. I think there will be like real quest stuff. New small monster in endemic life, literally just an iguana. Nearly every weapon has at least one special mechanic that rewards players for perfect timing. All of those have looked amazing. Supply items are delivered to the secret, which is pretty crazy. Pop-up camps must be placed strategically, as that's where NPC hunters will spawn, and camps can be attacked by monsters. There's a new map menu, fully 3D, can be rotated and tilted. Monsters drop additional rewards based on the time of day and season, and possibly other factors. Doshugama's new unique mechanic. As it's enraged, its muscles swell, reopen all the wounds the players previously created and destroyed during the hunt. There's a full cooking menu mid-hunt where hunters mix different ingredients for food buffs. Not a free action. Monsters will interrupt if careless. Ingredients must be gathered or received by special shops or NPCs. Quest reward screen doesn't pause the game, comes up as an overlay. Hunters stay in the map by default after a hunt. And endemic life differs drastically between seasons. So the seasons are just like the different way that the map shifts and everything. And then this was the last little bit. This was some of the stuff that came out today from today's live stream. The amount of tutorials and are customizable and toggleable. Paratoads are back. We did see them. They didn't get to get used, at least from what I saw. Guarding at just the right time may cause a power clash, which I did kind of see. Looked pretty great. Let's see. Background music changes dynamically based on fighting one or multiple monsters. During Sand Tide, lightning can hit and damage players and monsters. And yeah, I think it was one of the people working on the game says it would do a lot of damage. Ray Dowell's railgun attack is a weak spot right after firing. One mounting finisher will not always be enough to bring down the monster. That's how they were saying, like, this is kind of like you can get on top of the monster and mount them like you do in World, but there is like you have like options. You can immediately do like a finisher, or you can kind of like work on them and then do a finisher. And they're saying like if you just go up and just try to do a finisher, you might not be able to knock them down right away. Thunderblight can be negated by rolling repeatedly. Secret has a limited number of auto dodges when the player is attacking while on it. Environmental destruction, grass burns away from lightning scorches, will remain. Cooking animation changes based on chosen ingredients. So based on what you put into your cooking, it actually shows those ingredients as you cook. So it was pretty interesting. They like the person chose like fish, shrimp, and herb, and so then like in the actual cooking animation they'd like put down some fish and then some shrimp, and then they like topped some herbs on the top as like a season, and it was like, oh wow. But they had done this and done like something else before, and it all the like the items were changing based on what they had actually chose. Fishing system has been expanded using special lures rather than baits. Strong monster roars can trigger barrel bombs prematurely. They didn't say it in here, but barrel bombs can now be you can place them, and now you can pick them up, and they said throw them, but what is really happening is you toss them and then they roll, and when they hit something they explode. So that is pretty crazy. Optimal health recovery. There is now an option to use optimal health recovery, which will automatically choose the correct sized healing item and use it, which is pretty cool. Quest end timer can be skipped in multiplayer too. All players must vote on it though. End of the quest multiplayer hunter accolades return from Monster Hunter World, and the hunter scope and binoculars return. So some pretty cool stuff here. There is, like I said, so much information, and this is just, I'm sure, just scratching the surface at this point, but very cool. Makes me super hyped for this. Yeah, there's still no word on when they're gonna do the public demo and everything and an actual release date, but definitely been a good week for this stuff. Let me get into some of these other ones. So this is an article by Taylor Lyles. Microsoft expands its Xbox adaptive controller with a new joystick peripheral. Microsoft has announced a new Xbox accessory that continues the company's mission of making gaming accessible for everybody. This is always great. Microsoft revealed the Xbox adaptive controller in a new Xbox Wire blog post today. The Xbox adaptive joystick features 4 buttons and one big black joy stick at the top center of the device. This peripheral is designed as a companion to the company's Xbox adaptive controller and other Xbox controllers specifically for players with limited mobility. Interestingly, Xbox notes in the blog post that not only are the buttons customizable, there are also a slew of 3D printable files for the thumbstick topper. As shown in the image below, the files allow users to customize the height, width, and size of the thumbstick. 3 files are available via the Xbox Design Lab. Wow, that's really cool. So yeah, I always see these, and Xbox has been doing a really great job, Microsoft in general I should say, about always kind of finding good ways to be very inclusive and making things that are helping more people be able to enjoy games, which is just awesome in general. So I love it. All right, I don't know if you guys have seen this. Chick-fil-A is hatching plans for a streaming service as a reality TV comes home to roost. This is an article by Peter White. And apparently exclusive for Deadline. Chick-fil-A is moving aggressively into the entertainment space with plans to launch a slate of originals for its own streaming platform. Deadline understands that the fast food firm has been working with a number of major production companies, including some of the studios to create family-friendly shows, particularly in the unscripted space. It is also in talks to license and acquire content. We hear that this includes a family-friendly game show from Glassman Media, the company behind NBC's The Wall, and Michael Sugar's Sugar 23, which is this behind series such as Netflix 13 Reasons Why. Deadline understands the show has been handed a 10-episode order. Budgets on the unscripted side are believed to be in the range of $400,000 per half hour. Holy sh! Sources told us the idea is to launch later this year, and there's also also talk of scripted projects and animations. Does anybody think that Chick-fil-A having a streaming service is a good idea? Just a really quick question. Brian Gibson, who has worked on series including History's Top Gear remake and Fox adaptation of the X-Files or X Factor, is leading the programming charge and has been in talks with various producers. Chick-fil-A, known for its fried chicken sandwiches, is the latest company outside of the entertainment industry to move into making its own originals. It joins the likes of Lyft, which has produced shows such as Lucky Lyft, a game show hosted by Bob the Drag Queen, and Airbnb, which previously produced a documentary Gay Chorus Deep South that aired on MTV. Oh, what the hell? Why people still watch game shows? Bro, that is not the part that you should be worried about. Do you not have Chick-fil-A by you, Ron? Because this is like, so Chick-fil-A is like a okay, so think of like a just a really cheap fast food version of like a chicken sandwich. That is mostly what Chick-fil-A does. So it's very strange that they're going into a streaming content since they are a restaurant. You understand what I'm saying? It's very weird. Aren't they ultra conservative? So this is I wanted to bring up. Chick-fil-A is also very specific about how they like present themselves. Like they have aligned themselves very much with like I'm gonna say like a specific religious group. And so at one point, I don't know if it's still the same thing, they are not open on Sundays. I don't know if that still persists, but it did at one point. Again, this is not me making any kind of assumptions or anything about that. That's not what I'm here to do. I don't care about any of that. But they specifically, you know, they have a very specific alignment that they have, and it's just it's you know, it's very much going to be what Chick-fil-A leans into when they're putting out stuff. So just always know that. All right, let me get into this one because this one is pretty wild. So this is an article by Alex Stedman. Megalopolis, which is the new Francis Ford Coppola film that was coming out in a little bit. They put up a trailer the other day. And apparently they pulled the trailer after the quotes were criticizing Francis Ford Coppola are discovered to be fake. All right, so this is kind of like a weird headline. So the trailer was the trailer opened with like titles of all of like a Francis Ford Coppola movie that is regarded as being very good. Like the first one I think was like Godfather, and it was like a really negative review of it, and then they would jump to another Francis Ford Coppola movie title, and then it would show like a quote and everything, and they was like criticizing it, and they would do this all the way through it, and they're like, and essentially they're trying to make like a whole thing about, you know, people were trying to bring Francis Ford Coppola down, you know, the whole way through, but you know what, people look back and realize his movies are genius. But apparently they pulled this down because a lot of the quotes were discovered to be fake. A new trailer for Megalopolis, Francis Ford Coppola's decade in the making passion project, takes a no-holds-bar approach to calling out critics who slammed the filmmaker's previous work. True genius, the narration at the top of the trailer says, is often misunderstood. What follows is a parade of negative quotes attributed to some of the industry's most famous movie critics, bashing The Godfather, Apocalypse Now, and Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's intriguing marketing to be sure, and sets up Megalopolis to be essentially critic-proof. How can you believe the negative reviews of Megalopolis when they got it so wrong on so many other movies? There's just one problem. As first spotted and verified by Vulture, just about every quote in the trailer seems to be misattributed at best and completely fabricated at worst. After this was discovered, Lionsgate issued the following statement to Variety, apologizing and confirming that the trailer was being pulled. Lionsgate immediately recalled our trailer for Megalopolis. We offered our sincerest apology to the critics involved and to Francis Ford Coppola and America Zoetrope for this inexcusable error in our vetting process. We screwed up. We are sorry. That is insane. I saw this trailer when it came out, and like I said, the movie looks like it'll be fine. Like I don't know if it's going to be anything crazy or that groundbreaking, but for them to kind of take this like defensive FU kind of turn, which is, it's just kind of crazy. So much so that apparently to be faking quotes or even just misattributing them to people, not a good look. So they essentially were trying to like set the movie to be like, even if it gets negative reviews, doesn't mean it's bad. It means, you know, they just don't understand, right? So then it's like, and then they're like having to take it down, and you're like, so you just had the opposite reaction of everything, right? All right. And then lastly, this one is by Wesley Yin Poole. Nintendo is shutting down its Animal Crossing mobile game, but it's working on a paid offline version to replace it. So I thought this was kind of interesting. I did see something that people were saying this might be a great idea. I don't know. I haven't got to read too much into it, but I think there's probably some people who still enjoy this mobile Animal Crossing. I don't know if there is or not, but I wanted to make sure I brought it up. Anyway, Nintendo has announced plans to shut down Animal Crossing Pocket Camp 7 years after the mobile game launches. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, released in 2017, is a mobile-only version of Nintendo's incredibly popular farming and life sim. Pocket Camp is true to... Oh, yeah. The game goes dark on November 29th, 2024, a week after its 7th birthday. Since servers began on November 21st, 2017, for approximately 7 years, we have been honored to see everyone's lovely and diverse campsites grow and flourish. We extend our heartfelt thanks to many users who have loved Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. After the online service ends, Pocket Camp will no longer be playable, Nintendo warned. There is a silver lining, however. Nintendo said it's developing a paid version of the app to which players will be able to transfer their save data. The offline version will be released during the same period as the end of service for Animal Pocket Camp, Nintendo said. Paid version will have the same basic gameplay and controls as Pocket Camp. However, this app will allow the players to use the included features as a one-time purchase. Nintendo said there will be no in-app purchases or subscription services like Pocket Camp Club. It's worth noting that since the app will not require a continuous online connection, some features that require that connection, like the market boxes, gifts, and visiting other players' campsites, will not be available. Similarly, Leaf tickets will not be usable and will not be able to be transferred. Transferring them to the new app. Expect pricing and a release date in October. Reactions from the fans is mixed, and some expressing sadness that Animal Crossing Pocket Camp is coming to an end. Others seeing the positive in a paid app. So yeah, I think people were mostly just saying, like, I've seen a little bit of that mixed thing, but I think a lot of it has been like some people saying like, oh, nice, like I'll be able to play it just a little bit differently. At least I'm not losing everything. So it's a one-time paid kind of thing, no subscriptions or anything like that, and then you'll get to do it, but it's all offline and you're losing some things. But yeah, a nice save transfer feature, a couple of things. Like I said, I think people were like, it's the best of a bad situation. So, there's that, I guess, right? I think that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for the news today. I appreciate y'all. I know this was a little bit earlier than we normally do it, but I definitely needed it. So I appreciate y'all, and I will see y'all on the other side.